In this video, we're going to talk all about functions. So in math, a function is a specific type of relationship between two variables. And we say that a relation is a function when every x value has exactly one y value. Another way for you to think about this, and you're going to see these words a lot, is that every input has exactly one output. So some vocab that you're going to hear, when we look at these ordered pairs, x is going to be the same thing as input, which we just saw. It's also going to be the same as domain. And domain, if you remember, is the entire set of possible x values. And in this case, y is the same thing as output, as well as range. These are the main other words that you're going to see to all mean the same thing. So just remember that anytime that you see x, you're also talking about input, you're talking about domain. Anytime that you see y, you're talking about output, and you're talking about the range. There's two different strategies that we'll use in order to determine if a relationship is a function. So if you have a graph, then you can use the vertical line test. And I'm going to show this to you if you flip over to your next page and you look at one of the graphs. I'm going to just take a look at this first one here. So a vertical line test means that if I draw a line anywhere just on my graph like this, I should only cross my graph at one point, right? So if you take a look at this, anywhere I could draw all of these lines, I'm only going to cross my graph in these individual spots. So when I look at this relation, this is a function. And it's a function because we want to get in the habit of saying that every x value has only one y value. And you can see that, right? For example, if I went over to this point right here, when x is 1, then y is going to be equal to, this is not exactly -3, but let's imagine that it's like -3. And that's always going to be true. There's no other possible y value when x is equal to 1. Let's also take a look then at the graph that's right next to it. If we use the vertical line test here, when I draw a line, I'm going to notice that that line is going to hit my graph in 2 points. It doesn't matter anywhere here, wherever I draw those lines, they're going to hit my graph in 2 points. So in this case, this is actually not a function because each x value has more than one y value. So that is not going to be a function. We can come back to this in a minute when we're practicing, but let's come back over here to our notes. So that was how we can tell if a relation is a function using a graph. But there's other times where you're going to have either an input-output table, you might have an x and y table, a domain or range. These are often listed in ovals, or you might just be given ordered pairs. So anytime that you don't have a graph, basically, then you create an XY table, if you weren't already given it, and map each x value onto the y values. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like in a moment. So if you need to pause the video here to get these notes, you can do that.